You know how we as humans talk about giving people or foods or TV shows and films a second chance? Well, I have some authors here who are on their final chance. Basically, what I've done is I've got authors that I'm still very interested in where maybe I didn't quite enjoy the first book, but they gave me enough hope that I was still excited for another book, so they're like second chance authors. But there are a few where either I've read two or more things and they've been kind of mid, or I've had one fantastic read and one really bad read, so now I'm a bit nervous to read them. Or maybe the first thing I read from them wasn't great and so I'm tentatively giving them a second shot. There's various reasons, but I've got a little stack here of these authors where I know that if I don't enjoy this book, I am not going to read them again. Whereas, like, you know, other authors might still grab me, but these are literally, you know, if I don't enjoy these books, that author is going to join the ranks of other authors that I have now DNF'd. That I might do a video for. Let me know if you would be interested in me doing like a video of authors I've broken up with kind of thing. For this video, I am going to do it as a two-part, so obviously I'll do this part and then in a year or so I'll come back to this video and be like, did I read these books? Have I decided to DNF these authors and never read them out? Have I decided that I'm now no longer going to read these authors? So yeah. We're kickstarting this one. I'm going to go with the ones that I don't have the physical books with. The first one of these, I did have the physical book, but it seems to have disappeared, and that is The Switch by Beth O'Leary. I've had a bit of a rocky relationship with Beth O'Leary. The Flat Share is still one of my all-time favourite romances, and I still maintain it is... Oh, it's warm because it's been... That's where the radiator is, so... Oh, it's warm. This is one of my favourite romances. However, The Road Trip is one of my least favourite books of all time, and after giving it 5 stars or 4.5 stars, The No-Show, I have downgraded to a 3. So this one really is make or break and will determine whether The Flat Share was just like a one-hit wonder for me or not, but I am excited for it. It's a granddaughter and a grandmother who decide to swap lives, and in the process they find, you know, they go on a journey of self-discovery, possibly romance, things like that kicking off. And so I am very excited for this. So I am optimistic. And then the second one that I don't own the physical copy of is Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher. I read What Moves the Dead. I'm a poet. Last year. I did not enjoy it. I gave it 3 stars at most, I think. I did read it for my Bookishly Compatible series. I was reading Ren's favourite books. Unfortunately, I thought I'd done 5 books, but it turned out I only did 4, and half the footage for 2 of the books had disappeared, so I ended up having to scrap that because there was no way I was rereading it again. So I ended up reading this for nothing. Although it did help me realise that I do really like gothic stuff, so I do want to read more gothic books. But Nettle and Bone, I can't even tell you what it's about. I have completely forgotten. But basically, if I don't enjoy this one, then I just probably will accept that T. Kingfisher isn't for me. Let's just put that as a disclaimer, because otherwise I will say that for every single book. If you know. Next we have A Man Called Uwe by Frederick Backman. I read Normal People a couple of years ago. I did enjoy it. I did have a good time, but I didn't love it. I wasn't blown away. So I'm like, okay, loads and loads and loads of people have said how amazing this book is, and I know it's very, very highly recommended by Charlotte. I know because anything Backman is highly recommended by Charlotte. So I do have high hopes, and if I love this one, I then plan to go on to do Beartown, which is one that I've been kind of semi-considering reading for a little while. But honestly, not really any of his other books have caught my attention, so again, we shall see. But you know, this one does follow a grumpy old man. I do like the grumpy old man trope. So the next one is one of the ones where I was saying that the first book that I read from this author just didn't really blow me away. It hasn't really been a memorable read. I can't remember any of the sort of details about it. Other than one particular scene, I don't really remember anything about this book. And I remember even as I was reading it, I was kind of just hoping to get to the end. And then I've heard similar not great things about this one, but that is Zara by S.J. Jones. I'm a little bit intimidated because it's a slightly chunkier one. It is almost 500 pages and the writing is not the tiniest, but it's also not huge. I've seen some people critiquing this, saying that it has some similar issues to Winter Song that I didn't really enjoy, like it just being a bit too long-winded and too much unnecessary exposition. But we shall see. Maybe I will enjoy it better because this one's more of a fantasy, sort of like my kind of fantasy, rather than the whimsical, metaphorical fantasy of Winter Song. Also, I spent far too much of Winter Song comparing it to The Labyrinth, and then it went in a different direction, so I think that didn't help. But we shall, like, you know, I do remain hopeful with this one, and I am planning on doing this as a buddy read still with Chelsea if she hasn't yet read it, which I wouldn't blame her, because I think we organised this as a buddy read twice last year, and then we just, like, she moved house on one month and then I was preparing for Australia on the other, and it never happened. Next on the list we have Terry Pratchett. I know this one might be slightly controversial because I know how beloved he is, but I have read four or five books in the Discworld series, and while there are moments that are glorious and gold, Granny Weatherwax in particular, oh my god, I love her. I find his sort of nonsensical plots and his kind of wacky writing too much. I have really struggled, but I've been told by more than one source that if any book is going to get me more into Discworld and enjoying his writing, it will be Mort, especially with Death being a heavy character and how much I enjoyed him in previous installments. I have been assured that I should love this, and if I do, then I will continue with Discworld, but if I don't, I'm just going to draw a line under it, walk away, and never ever go back. The next one is another example of an author who the first book I read underwhelmed me, but there were enough nuggets in there that I'm intrigued by what else she can write, and that is Waking the Witch by Rachel Burge. It's only a very short book as well. I think the other one that I read, I can't remember the name of it now. It's not The Near Witch, that's V. Schwab. I can think of the cover because it was a white cover with like black tree branches, but I just remember being a little bit underwhelmed by it, and then the story added in like an element with another character that I was kind of like, I would rather focus on what's going on the island. I don't care about this other character. But the moodiness and like the creep factor did get me a couple of times, so I'm hoping that this one's going to be a little bit better on that. I've also seen, it's right here, wow, it is right on the cover, not only there but also on the back. Score none for Kirsty. I remember really enjoying some of the creepy stuff. This is also, it's set in Wales and it's steeped in Welsh mythology and Arthurian legend, which is slowly becoming something that I have been enjoying. I've now read a couple of Arthurian books that I've enjoyed. So let's hope this one's going to be lucky for me. Next up we have The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. I'm more hopeful for this one than I think any of the others, because this one I think is just a standalone, so unless it goes horrifically bad, I'm gonna have a great time. Especially as Guy Corella got 5 stars from me and I absolutely loved it. It was just the other 2 books in the series just weren't great and the final book was awful. That's why with this one I am still maintaining optimism. It's just a cautious optimism. So if this one ends really well and I enjoy it, then I will absolutely, because there's still a couple of other books that she's written that I'm interested in. But because I've not read them yet and I've only got the that series to go by, I am slightly nervous. And then the final one is probably not a surprising one to anybody, but I have had this book for so goddamn long. I need to get it finished so I can either just get it off my shelves or finally finish the continue the series, and that is Wolfsong by TJ Klune. This was a gift and it's so many of my contacts and friends' favourite series. I feel as I already own it, I am going to read it and try. I did have some issues with the start of this one, but I'm hopefully going, I don't want to have to reread it because, you know, I don't want to have to reread the thing that I didn't enjoy about it, but there are some bits that I can't quite remember. However, now that the characters are a little bit older in this, maybe I can actually enjoy it a little bit more because it doesn't feel so weird. I'm going to try and get to like halfway through, so sort of like 280 or something, and if I'm still not enjoying it, then I will go, and then that is it, because like I really did love The Extraordinaries, but then the second book I kind of got bored and DNF'd, and then In the Lives of Puppets was my least favourite book of 2023 or 2023. I've had real hit or miss experiences when reading his book, but we shall see. So there you have it. Those are just a few authors where I've decided that this is the last book I'm going to try from them, and if I don't enjoy it, then I move on with my life and let their fans be fans. I'm just going to fan over someone else. Let me know in the comments, do you have any sort of last chance authors, or do you have any authors that you've recently decided, actually no, they're not for me, I'm not going to read them anymore? I'm always interested to hear your thoughts. In the meantime, I hope you're all good, I hope you're staying safe. Don't forget to check out my Etsy and Patreon that are always linked below, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!